today seek personalized real-time care discovery, finding the right doctor and relevant healthcare services efficiently. Addressing this need, Prodoc.ai pioneers a patient engagement platform powered by AI. Hi, you're watching Follow Startups. I'm your host Ankita Pahwa, and today we are joined by Raghuvamshi Thakur, the COO and co-founder of Prodoc. Raghu brings over 18 years of experience in product management and strategic decision making. He has an impressive background with Oracle Communication and Nokia, holds over 10 patents, and is also an ultra marathon runner. Let's uncover with him the journey and vision behind Prodoc. So, hi, Raghu. Welcome to Follow Startups.
Hi, Ankit. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
So, Raghu, it's great to have you on the show. But before we understand Prodoc, could you share a bit about your professional background and the journey that led you here?
Right. So we've been, so at least I graduated around a couple of decades back. I've been a computer science engineer, mostly a geek, focused more on tech part. Worked with multiple organizations, including Nokia and Oracle, like you mentioned. I have around 10, 12 patents. I've been a marathon runner. I did my management from IIM Bangalore. My focus towards product on while I personally went through a journey where my dad was diagnosed with cancer and I was struggling to identify the right doctor and right care for him. And that's where the journey and the problems that a normal Indian faces towards finding the right doctor that kind of emerged. So that is how me and Asit got talking, and that's led to Prodoc. So
Thank you so much for sharing that. So let's start with the basics only. Raghu, could you give us a brief overview of what Prodoc is and the main problem that it aims to solve in the healthcare industry?
So if you look at very briefly, Indian healthcare spends around $1 billion annually just for patient engagement. This is to actually educate patient about the services that the healthcare ecosystem is offering, right? Some quick stats, right? 68% of the Indians lack sufficient health literacy. What that means is for a person, 68 out of 100 people cannot go from identifying a problem that they have to identifying the right doctor. 85% of the appointments that happen in hospitals today still happen through phone calls, which means people are calling, trying to inquire, trying to understand who can help them and get the right care. A very disheartening fact of all of this is that 15%, there is a reduction in terms of app and digital usage of 15% when it comes to healthcare apps, right? Overall, what this talks about is that while there is a digital literacy which is increasing, the same digital literacy is not percolating to Indian healthcare. With Prodoc and with all the AI ecosystem that we are building, we tend to address the patient engagement in the right manner.
Okay, that's very interesting, and the problem that you are, aiming to solve, it's a much needed gap. So far, I understand that your primary target audience is Indian hospitals and clinics. So is there more to it? Who else is using Prodoc today, and how does your platform cater to their specific needs?
Interesting question, right? So when we started off, we primarily thought that our product will be very useful to rural India because we support vernacular language and we support all of these engagements via WhatsApp, right? Out of the 1.6, 1.7 billion population in India, almost 900 million users are currently using WhatsApp for everyday usage, right? On an average, an Indian spends 2 hours on WhatsApp. So we preferred WhatsApp as a mechanism for patient engagement. That was our first mood. So we thought that this would be very useful for rural India. It will be very useful for tier 2, tier 3 engagement. But what we have realized over time is that this information is something, or this engagement is not useful only for patients in rural, but it's also very much applicable for urban India. So we have a lot of hospitals and clinics in tier 1 cities who are using our product. We also, interestingly, have pharma companies who are also using our product in order to educate doctors and in order to educate healthcare communities. Interestingly, the same product is also being used by pet care So a lot of pet companies are trying to adopt our product. The same product is being also used by no basically even by small Ayurvedic and homeopathic clinics, right, which primarily do not come in the direct ambit of the allopathic healthcare, but increasingly even the Ayush, the initiative by government to bring Ayurvedic and homeopathic clinic, even they are one of our biggest consumers of our product. So it's very interesting to see how the product has much far-reaching and applicability. And at the end of the day, patient is at heart of it, because the patient is able to now reach the right doctor, get the right care, um, and all by sitting at home at the click of a button from their WhatsApp.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Raghu, if you could just walk us through some of the key features of Prodoc and how they contribute to improving patient engagement and patient and partner doctor engagements. I think this will definitely help answer the question of why Prodoc.
Definitely, yeah. So one of the key features that product offers is conversational AI in vernacular language. What that means is, I am a Kannadiga and I can write in Kannada over WhatsApp, and I don't even have to know a medical jargon, right? I can write simplistic stuff like I am going through a leg pain, or I got hurt during a football match or during a run, and I am trying to look for a physio. So what this does is our AI system takes that information, it breaks it down to a level, identifying that, okay, the patient is going through a specific pain. And in this case, it could be a orthopedic who would be more applicable. It then takes that information and goes to a specific hospital's database, identifies the right doctor, and comes back. See, the other interesting thing is most of us, you, me, and everybody here in India, right? We already know 3, 4 hospitals who are around our vicinity. So I'm not going to wake up today and go 200 kilometers just to meet a doctor, right? What we are enabling is not to identify a right hospital. We are actually in the business of helping hospital let patients come to the right doctor inside the hospital. So an example is Apollo today has 200 odd doctors listed in each branch. I'm not talking about overall, I'm just saying about each branch, right? We have Fortis in front of my house. It has around, yeah, around similar 180 doctors. So every time I have a problem, I am struggling to find the right doctor in that hospital, right? And I have no gauge to know. The system takes that. So that's the primary use case, right? It helps patient find the right doctor with minimal medical knowledge, right? That's one. Second thing is I can use the same platform to book an appointment without even stepping out, right? And all through this using simple conversations. For example, you could just write like, I would like to talk to this doctor, and the system will return a schedule for you. You can say, okay, book me an appointment. It does the entire thing, gives you confirmation, gives you a reminder, brings you, makes you aware of the whole ecosystem that's available to you to help you without even making you realize that it's all in AI on the back end, right? And this is all through conversations. That's the second part. The third and the other very important thing that I also wanted to talk about is that this is something that is available 24/7, right? Um, so middle of the night, you need a message, just say emergency and you will get the number, right? You can request callbacks, you can reach the right people, all through without having to go through an hassle of an IVR, which I am assuming both you and me hate equally, right? Nobody likes to be on an IVR clicking buttons and numbers. Yeah, so that's primarily where we come in.
So all this happens when a hospital or a clinic has Prodoc integrated into their operations, correct? So how does
Yes.
that work? Could you walk me through the process and the technology behind it? Like, for example, if a franchisee, Fortis hospitals want to integrate Prodoc into their operations, so what will be the steps? How do you go about it?
So interestingly, Fortis is one of our customers. So let me take you through a real life example, right? Let's say Fortis Rajanagar, who are our customers. they want to, let's say they want to get onboarded with us. So all they have to do is they have to come on our website, and all they need is just a WhatsApp number, right? So they have a business WhatsApp number that they're using today. They can bring that number, they can come create an account on our system. They can connect their WhatsApp number to our system. And then training an AI is as simple as giving a URL. You can just give the URL of your website. The system does the rest. It goes through the entire website. It scrolls the data. And what we have built is not a simple AI. We have built an agentic workflows. What that means is our system thinks. So when you say you have, you're going through a leg pain, the system will think about, okay, the person is going through a leg pain. He would probably need an orthopedic doctor because he is contacting us right now. He would probably be wanting to get to a doctor in next few hours. So it identifies a doctor who's available right now and then brings that up, right? So it's smart enough to break the simple query into multiple parts and then do the reasoning and then come back to you.
Very nice. So how many hospitals and diagnostic centers are using Prodoc today?
So today we have over 100 plus hospitals. We have 150 plus clinics. We have around two pharmas who are using the system. Most of our customer base is right now centered around Western Maharashtra, North Karnataka, and Bangalore. That's primarily because, like I said, initially we thought that this is an excellent tool for tier two city, right? So we launched our product in North Karnataka, only to realize that the system is equally useful for the urban audiences. So that's when we shifted to Bangalore as a base, and there we have been rapidly growing.
So Raghu, I understand that Prodoc was established in 2022. So since then, could you describe the current stage of growth and development that Prodoc has reached today?
Yeah, so we incorporated the company in 2022. Interestingly, we launched the first flavor of the product on Doctor's Day in 2022. From there to here, we've been like 2 years. We had a phenomenal first year because we acquired around 75 customers very rapidly back then. But something that was missing, and we realized that very quickly also, was that while we were on a app-based ecosystem, and that is what we were trying to promote, we realized that app adoption itself is a big problem in India, right? And with so many apps and so little attention, it was very difficult to deliver the right care through that. That's so this was around a year back. A year back, that's when we changed gears. We said, okay, we will have to do something radical. So we did pivot using an AI ecosystem. So we pivoted in two parts. One, we said we'll get away with anything structured. So we moved to completely unstructured conversational communications, which was primarily powered by AI. And then we said, okay, we will also use a very common, well adopted zero CAC solution, right? Somewhere the customer acquisition is like near zero value. And that's when we also moved to WhatsApp. So that's primarily what drove us to there. In the last 2 years, and interestingly, in the last like 2 quarters, that's where the focus has been AI. Initially, we realized that the doctors community have been very skeptical about what AI can do and cannot, right? And one of the things that we ourselves had been very apprehensive about was we didn't want a system that would start recommending anything to the patients on behalf of doctors, right? So that is a complete no-go. But interestingly, the system has evolved quite a bit. So today we can program an AI to an extent where AI can do everything else, which is to help the patient and nothing to harm, right? So we're very proud that the system does not do any direct suggestions. It does not suggest any solutions, even if they are home remedies or anything, right? It's very specific. Even when it comes to Ayurveda, while it can talk a lot about Ayurveda, it does not recommend any specific procedures or anything, right? So that's been a very interesting part of the journey as well. Growth wise, we have been growing 20% on a month-on-month revenue for the last 2 quarters. And we're trying to see this only on the upside, right? While we're shifting our existing customers to the AI ecosystem, that's one track that we have been focusing on. The second track is where we are starting to acquire these new set of customers. We're very excited to see how the patient engagement works on the whole WhatsApp AI mechanism.
So are you funded?
We are funded by friends and families. So we did do a very initial round where a lot of friends and family got involved. We raised a CR around that. This was around 2022.
Hmm.
We've done a small bridge fund, and we are actually into a fundraising cycle right now, and we're trying to raise around 500K USD, and we are currently in that process.
Awesome. And where are you based out of, Raghu?
So we are based out of Bangalore.
Hmm.
There's no better place to be than Bangalore if you're doing cutting edge tech in India. So we are here in Bangalore. I've been throughout my life here. So has been Asit. So this is home. And right now our focus is on South India, but we are definitely starting to see opportunities in the north, and then we hope to build a lot of network there as well.
So, Raghu, we've understood your product. We've explored what product is. We've understood who your target audience is. So let's turn our attention to the financials a little bit. So if you could provide us some insights into your revenue model and how you ensure financial health and sustainability for your business.
Few quick KPIs, right? Again, for a startup, I think from day one, one thing that we were very firm upon were that we never wanted to have free customers. We said the free customers do not deliver neither the insights nor the monetary benefit, right? So we were very clear that we wanted to have paid customers to come onto a platform. We do offer a 14-day free trial, but then we want the customers to actually get onto the paid model, right? We offer a SaaS platform, and this is a B2B SaaS platform. You can go onto our website, Prodoc.ai, and just you know, onboard yourself in like 2 minutes straight, right? Um, but the interesting part is our revenue model has two parts. One is the monthly or annual subscription model, and then that some customers can pay and get onto the right period. The second part is the conversations that we charge, right? So with every subscription, we give you a set of free conversations that any business can use to build their network. And then beyond a certain limit, we charge a simple 80 paisa per conversation kind of a model. And that's the additional charge that we have per conversations.
So, Raghu, beyond your role, share something about your co-founder, Asit. You have mentioned him a couple of times in this conversation. So, what's his background? Introduce us to him.
So yeah, again, very interesting. Asit and me know each other for like 30 years now, right? We were from the same school, and this is Sainik School, Bijapur. So we are in boarding for like 7 years together. We know each other forever now. Asit comes from a NIT Allahabad background, so he's also an engineer, but he's coming from civil engineering. Um, Asit, post his engineering, took into sales. So he's more of like 17, 18 years into sales, unlike me, who's been into engineering. And even in the organization, that's how the roles are split. He is more into management and more in terms of the compliances and the sales. And I take care of more of the engineering as well as the operations and other things, right? So that's how we break things between us. Asit, again, the last corporate job Asit had was head of sales for Middle East and Africa for Everest Industries. So he has a lot of international and national sales experience. And prior to Prodoc, he also had a very interesting stint with a travel startup, right? So he was actually involved in travel startup before he took over the post his IIM stint. He was with a travel industry. He did have a successful startup. He was there for a couple of years before COVID hit, and then the whole travel industry broke down, right? That's when we also switched gears for Prodoc.
So both of you bring very interesting skill set to the table. That's great.
Very interesting thing that Asit says is co-founders as a relationship is opposite to the way marriages work, right? Where in marriages, at least in Indian context, you always look for matching कि इतने गुण होने चाहिए. There should be some overlap in terms of गुण, right? Um, we think that in startup it should be opposite, right? You should have nothing matching, right? You should have like zero overlap, so you
Yeah,
can really complement each other in the process. Yeah.
100%. So there's you two at the core of Prodoc. Tell us more about your team and how are the roles divided within the organization?
So we have around 22 members team right now. So engineering is all based out of Bangalore. We have an in-house engineering team. We are around 10 members. Again, most of the engineering, we have a team lead who reports to me, and both the engineering and the operations converts to me. That's how the team is right now. The sales team, interestingly, is split across multiple geographies. So we do have somebody in Pune, we have some in Kolhapur, Meerut Sangli, Belgaum, some parts in Karnataka, and then they all converge to Asit. Um, we also have a small digital marketing team, etc., who sits with us. But yeah, mostly we're like a small, closed knit team. The sales is always on the ground, and rest everybody is at the office. Right? So yeah.
And as you continue to expand, are there any specific roles or positions that you are actively looking to bring on board?
Yes, definitely. So we have been so interestingly, we also got a few advisors who are very relevant in our journey and who added quite a bit to us, right? One is our so we got very early engaged with Mr. Nand Kumar Jairam. He was one of our mentors from the industry perspective. He also comes with 40 plus years of experience. He's a ex-Manipal, ex-Columbia Asia CEO. So he comes from a lot of industry experience. Um, and then we also, in the same journey of fundraising, talking to investors, going through VCs, angels, we also met another of our advisors who is Milind Katti. He is, again, CEO, co-founder of Demand Farm. He has been with us for almost a year now. And what we have understood is that while we are hiring for a lot of these positions that open up, every time we go to a new area, we try to have on-ground sales because healthcare generally is an industry where you need person on ground. It doesn't work with the remote selling. We do build sales very aggressively on the ground, but most of the roles which we have in-house, we are actually trying to groom internal. For example, our CTO in line would probably come from one of the engineering folks we already have. We have a lot of bright team there, very aggressive, and we probably hope that they come from there, no in-house. Uh, but yeah, a lot of we always talking to a lot of, and another very interesting thing is the healthcare space itself is exploding. We almost on a daily basis meet new healthcare startups, founders, sales folks, department heads. So yeah, we're continuously growing, but at this point of time, our primary focus is marketing and sales, and that is where we intend to grow, right? So that's where we're trying to accumulate a lot of manpower. Yeah.
So, speaking of which, do you foresee any emerging trends in the healthcare industry that you believe will shape the future of patient engagement per se?
I think patient engagement on WhatsApp will be a force to reckon with. Uh, I think at some point of time it will almost become ubiquitous. That if you want to book an appointment, let imagine this, right? Let's say you're going through a common cold, common fever, right? Kind of a scenario. The worst that can happen to you is that you have to talk to somebody on the phone. But today, to book an appointment, that's your only choice. This is what we want to change. We want to change the way patient has to behave because of the current paradigm, and I think that's the primary trend that will happen. Second thing that is also very interestingly that will happen is AI is going to play a much larger role in healthcare and especially in patient engagement, specifically for showing that empathy, showing that no, see, one of the things that you have to give it to AI, and no, we always talk about this is that AI is impartial. It does not, and it is. There's no judging. There is
Yeah.
no judgmental part to AI, right? Which means if I know that there is a AI system on this side, I would not hesitate to talk about depression. I would not hesitate to talk about any other problems that I have because I know that the other side won't judge me, right? And that's the best part of ecosystem. This will become more relevant, more regularized. Of course, government of India itself is running through a big digital drive. I don't know if you heard about ABHA, but Ayushman Bharat is a big government initiative that is
Hmm.
being triggered on the healthcare digitization side. And we think that AI can play a big role. And once this ecosystem emerges, the patient engagement will only get better from there, right? So you can all hope that tomorrow is going to be better than today. Yeah.
Yes, we all hope. So, Raghu, this has been a fantastic conversation. To wrap up, looking ahead, tell us what upcoming features or improvements can users expect from Prodoc.ai? What are your priorities for the next 3 to 6 months?
Again, very interesting that you asked that, right? So we have been working on multiple fronts. One thing that I can assure you that we will do in next 6 months is that you can just send your reports to an AI system, and we'll make sure that the AI takes the burden of taking that report, going to the right doctor, and reaching the right person that you should be. Right? So basically, ensuring that it's not just it's not a transmission or it's not just a medium for conversing. It can do much more, right? The second part, and again, I'm very certain of this, we will probably, by the time we are done, we will eradicate IVRs from appointment booking. You will never have, no patient will ever have to wait on a phone line to actually book an appointment. While we are supporting WhatsApp conversations already, so you can already use our system with voice notes, we are very quickly evolving in a place where AI would talk to you in your own language, help you book appointment, go through that entire cycle with almost you not realizing that it's an AI on the other side, right? And the idea is to bring that comfort, bring that attention, that personalization that a patient demands uh, over every channel that a patient would prefer, not just on WhatsApp. So that's primarily two, three things that we're working towards.
That's amazing, and I'm honestly thrilled about the exciting things that lie ahead of you. And I'm already looking forward to our future discussions about them. So, Raghu, we have plans to promote this video, this discussion with large enterprises, investors, tech giants, and a broader startup ecosystem. Is there anything specific that you would like to mention for potential collaborations or any partnerships or fundraising? This is your call for support. So,
So yeah, again, like every startup in India, I think the one thing that we're currently really looking forward to is lot of collaborations because everybody is trying to solve one small piece of the problem, and we think that we can actually play a part in improving that journey. So we are looking forward to a lot of collaboration. We are already talking with multiple, let's say, healthcare startups in collaborating, and anybody who wants to collaborate with us, use our product, we welcome. Of course, having said that, we are currently raising funds, and any angels, any VCs who are interested in healthcare and India as a overall ecosystem, we would love them to become part of our journey and participate and talk to us more. Yeah.
So, Raghu, before I let you go, I want you to quickly make a wish for a product that you hope comes true in the near future, and I want you to make that wish out loud.
We, by end of this financial year, would like to help 2 million patients book their appointments through Prodoc. Yeah,
I'm
that
confident
would
you will. So, Raghu, to you and your entire team, may you continue to connect patients and providers for a healthier future. So, cheers and thank you so
thank
much.
you. Thank you, Ankita. Yeah, we look forward to talking to you more.
If you'd like to stay updated with the latest developments and business insights from Prodoc, be sure to follow their channel on follow.us/startups. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.